Hi, kids and folks at home. Merry New Year, almost to be. Happy Christmas. Just catching up on some emails. I'd like to read this one to you. This comes from a guy named Jake. Let's just call him Jake. This is a response from one of my newsletters. I have a free newsletter. I've had it for 20 years. You can sign up. It's entertaining. It's got thoughts on laundromats. It's got some personal stuff. Usually at the holidays, I'll send out a little anecdote or two, sometimes even some private videos. It's not salesy. I'm not trying to shove anything down your throats. You guys know me. But this one's funny. I just read this. Thought I'd share it with you. He's responding to my newsletter, and I haven't looked up how long he's been a member of the newsletter, but this is one of the emails. I can see the email that went out, and this is an email 2 or 3 weeks into the newsletter. He writes, "How does one put a fair price on a car wash business? Question mark. How the fuck would I know, Jake? Basic on annually sale or equipment and property, etc." I'm just reading it word for word. All I have is the written word from our friend Jacob. Please need suggestions, question mark. Sincerely. And then his name. I weep for the future. Jake, I don't even use a car wash. Something gets washed, most certainly. So congratulations on that, little guy. What's the goal? Well, what we do here is we always have fun, or at least I do. If I wasn't enjoying this, I'd stop doing it. I like to roll into these lives a bit of edumacation, also live calls. And in this case, you folks have been along with Rebecca and I throughout her journey. She did what many of you on this call or this live YouTube or this evergreen video, but a lot of my videos stay up. She was watching the YouTubeinator. She was saying, gee whiz, who's this smartass? A lot of people click off right away. They watch my shorts. I don't like this fucker. Hurts my pee-pee when he curses. Okay, sorry, not sorry. I do feel poorly for those folks because if they don't listen intently and long enough, they will likely, if they continue to be interested and intrigued in laundromats, go out and buy one. And that is my heart, my impetus for doing this, to make sure that you, each and every one of you, don't get hurt. A lot of questions in owning businesses, right? Are you a cattle rancher? Do you know how to ranch? Were you raised on a ranch? Well, you're way ahead of me as far as raising cattle. I know some words, Black Angus, I don't know. Don't know shit about it, not gonna get into it, not gonna try it. If I were to even think about it, God knows, I'd have weeks at a dude ranch, I'd hire a professional, I'd want to mentor with someone, right? All of that. So here we are. I am not a guy bullshitting you trying to get clicks because I have a vending machine in front of my laundromat. I'm not a guy that's shilling for a phony bank or a distributor selling equipment. I'm not a guy that gives two humps. There's that word again. Gives two humps about clicks. And all that's so hard to understand, right? Unless you start to begin to understand the Dany and how he do. The Dany got his exit. The Dany understands plenty about the business. You'll never hear the Dany talk about himself in the third person. Try not to be an idiot. No pomp, no circumstance, no explosions, Not enough fun for many. And I get it. By the way, jump into the top chat. Ask your serious or foolish questions. Wish everyone here a Merry New Year and a Happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever. We have fun because I am steering this here boat without an udder. An oar. Back to the cows. See that? Kill shot. I forget what these buttons do. Do I love hearing my own voice? Yeah, it make me laugh. I've got 3 or 4 plates spinning. So number 1, folks like Rebecca, who was watching a dude on YouTube who made the decision, you know what? I do think I have enough information to move forward and own a laundromat or 2 or 10. There are real, legitimate citizen human beings in this country and others that are on the YouTube machine who own laundromats and who are extremely profitable at it, but there are very few. Because what is their impetus? It's okay to be a skeptic. It's how I grew up. It's how I still am. I'm still not grown up. The skepticism is healthy. If you have a healthy skepticism, the health part of that is vetting people. What is their impetus? What are they in this for? Truly. If they sell you a $5,000 course with 0 guarantees of success, 0 guarantees to the fact that you are going to learn a goddamn thing, there's that word again. Watch out. If they have hundreds of hours of content, and I'm not comparing myself to anyone, where they do a live video where you can communicate directly with him or her. We're getting there, aren't we? Come on, use your head. But there's a tipping point. There's a point where people begin to think that everyone is wrong and everyone is out to put their hand in your pocket and everyone has their own best interest at heart. That's not the case with everyone. I consulted, yes, I talk to people just about daily. I consulted with a gentleman today, over-the-road truck driver, very, very excited about a laundromat in the middle of the country that he wants to own. He's done everything wrong until he saw my stupid course. My silly course. It's not stupid, but it is silly. Then the blanks began to fill in. At some point, he felt small, I think, on the call. And he said, I'm sorry, Dany, I'm not good at using words. It's okay. There are other people that can help you with that part of it. He already owns a small business. He's already a truck driver over the road. That's hard. I can't imagine, I've never done it. Can't imagine sitting, thinking about my wife and my kids and watching that white line go by. Every 20 lines is a quarter mile, every 100 lines, every 1,000 lines. They call it white line fever. Oh, I just made another $2.50. I couldn't do it, not at this point in my life. Everyone thinks the grass is greener and that if they just had that lottery ticket, well, that's not real. I don't think you're foolish if you buy a lottery ticket. You might win. I think you're a fool if you buy more than one because it doesn't change your odds. Those are the little things. Use your head. We got an office pool. Everybody pitch in $100. We're going to buy a bunch of lottery. No, everybody pitch in $2 and buy a ticket. Or don't. Told you. Be all over the place with this shit. I'm not a great teacher. I was taught by my father how to swing a hammer, how to hang drywall, how to do plumbing. The woodwork you see in my office, I did it myself, from the floors to the ceiling. Do I enjoy it? Yes. No human interaction, no discussion. Am I capable of both? Yes. It's good to have skills, still have all 10 fingers, and my wits about me. And as long as I do and there's breath in my lungs, I will continue to do the things that I love and to bring my family up, to elevate them and you at the same time. If you are interested in intrigue and owning laundromats, go listen to what everyone has to say. I'm not here to put anyone asunder. And sort through the bullshit yourself. This gentleman that I spoke with, the truck driver, he says, you know what? I thought you were full of it. Then I listened. And sadly, you might have to listen to this entire hour and a half long live. Oh, don't click off. I don't know how long it's going to be. The goal is to talk to you. You are the folks that I am speaking with and the ones that I am trying to get through to. And I enjoy it. 41 of you on here. It'll end up being 70 or 80 by the end of the hour. Jump in and throw a comment up for me. Why? Oh, because it helps the algorithm. Don't give a shit. I just want to talk to you. I have had the truck drivers who despise what they do. You remember back when you wanted that job so badly? And then you got that thing. This is all human nature. Now you have the thing, it's no longer intriguing. I got the job. Now what? Now I want to own my own truck. Now I want my own company. Now I've got to pay the insurance on the truck and the company. Now I lose the benefits that I had when I worked for XYZ Trucking. Grass is always greener. Sometimes doing the difficult thing is the easiest thing. Tell me about it in the comments. Something that you wanted. I don't give a shit if it's a Red Ryder BB gun, a job, or a date, or a future wife. Tell me about the thing that you wanted and you got it, and suddenly the cracks start to appear. New car or otherwise. Are you being realistic? Is there a monster under the bed? Like many of you on this YouTube, watching, listening through an earpiece because you're supposed to be at work, you think you want to own a company. Are you capable of it? Are you prepared? All the little stuff is easy. When I got on a phone consultation with someone and they asked me if they need an LLC, I roll my eyes. I say, holy there's that word again. That's the smallest of small things and a fear for some people. Oh, I don't want to do my own taxes. Don't. Hire someone. But the benefit of being able to own the company is the ability to write off Rolex watches, coffee, and trips to New York, Spa, Belgium, or Monaco. I'm not here to claim to be some professional in all things. Family, relationships, machine gun collecting, horticulture, horticulture, ichthyology, or others. I have to narrow it down and speak to you about doing laundromats properly. It's called free laundromat because you will not pay for one. I've got a dozen or so of these stories on my channel where folks did buy them and found me later. Here's how this is going to roll out. I'm going to read your top chat questions, answer them in total. We're going to jump on the phone with Rebecca, talk about where she's at. Raise your hand if you've been here, if you've been going through the process. What did she do? She wanted more. She got my silly course, which is so inexpensive, it's a crime. But it's because I want you to see if this is right for you. Keep your mouth shut if you know me and you know my story. It's no one's business. I don't do this for money. I do it because I am passionate, and I despise the people that are on the other side of this that want you to go out, buy a laundromat, and allow it to destroy you. Robert, if you're on here and listening, you let me know. Maybe we will talk for a minute, and I'll be very, very kind to you. I don't know people's names, the handles that you use on the YouTubeinator. So if you jump on here and your YouTube name is SnickleDork11 and your real name is Bob, just say, hey, this is Bob, here's my question. Or comment, or accolades. I enjoy those too. That means a compliment. We're going to answer your queries. We're going to get Rebecca on the phone. Rebecca got my silly course. She ingested it. She watched it twice, like most people do. Then she emailed me. We got on a phone consultation. You get my one and only Swaler phone number. It's the only number I have. It's not a secret bat phone. The secret bat phone, by the way, sits underneath. Yes, Commissioner. What have you sprayed me with, Catwoman? Sorry, I've been moving things around in the office. We got on a call, and she said, you know what, damn it? I don't feel comfortable and confident. I'm a registered nurse. This is not my forte. I'd like to hire you if I could, Dany, to call landlords. I said, well, okay. Do I ask that you dig a ditch or jump through a hoop? No, I ask that you take out a debit or credit card and you spend a few dollars. Be serious. There's no competition. No one else on in the known universe is going to do this for you. If you don't feel comfortable calling landlords and being kind and gentle and saying the right things, because that's how I always start. Am I a sumbitch bastard? There's that word again. Maybe. But only when they sumbitch bastard in my direction first. Rebecca and I got on the telephone. She put the stores in front of me. She does the work. You do the work. All the legwork, all the difficulty, all the shit that I'm not going to do. How could I? You go out in Dallas, Texas, New York City, Los Angeles, Canada, and or the 28, 29 other countries that I've done this. You physically put boots on the ground, you scout the stores, you feed me the information, and we get on the phone and call. The hardest part is waiting. But if you literally listen to and watch my real live unedited videos, this is the way we do it. This particular call that we make might end up being 11 minutes on the phone with the landlord, and that's fine. And then we might edit that down into a 30-second short, a 60-second short, and maybe a 7, 10, 11-minute long edited video. Not edited for content, not changing the words that are said, but making it slightly more entertaining, more palatable for the universe. Get to the point, Dany. I rarely hear that. I am not going to allow you to sign a lease that's going to lose money and hurt your family. That's invaluable. Because I've seen, heard, spoken with, consulted with so many clients that don't give a shit. They so badly want to get out of their day-to-day job that they're willing to take not a leap of faith, but a jump into the pit. Oh, anything I need to do to get this laundromat, I'm willing to do. That's not what you want to be thinking. That's not the way we do it. So if you heard the previous calls with her, it starts with a cold call. Scary. What would you say? Do you have a script? That shit doesn't work. In every single negotiation, you're giving someone what they want, whether they know it or not. If all you're focused and fixated on is trying to get what you want, you'll never get it. I want this square footage. You can't say that. You have to say, I want to give you what you want. And not a game, not a gag, not a trick. There's no Jedi mind tricks here. 50 of you on here and like 11 questions. Come on, you louts, jump in here and ask me a thing. Off we go. Wade, who's a lovely gentleman up in Canada, who has a free laundromat. Thank you, Dany. Yes, he is what I call a prodigy. You never know. Wade is now a philanthropist. He's now helping the locals. An absolute badass in my book. And here he is saying, hope your Christmas was fantastic with your family. Well, Wade, you're assuming a lot. We don't have Christmas in America. That's only in Canada. And I don't have a family. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Sidali redacted his message. I don't know why. Marcus says, hey, what's up, Dany? Hope you had a great Christmas with your family. I did. Saw your family picture on Facebook. That was a bad A asterisk picture. Bad. There's that word again. Hey, Dany, love the videos, says Team Williamson. I've purchased your program, watched all your videos, and rewatching them again. How and when will we have a phone call? Wow, there's a telling query, folks. You might imagine if you sign up for my newsletter, I'm going to bombard you with sales shit. You might imagine if you actually purchase my course like Team Williamson did, that you're going to be bombarded with the next step, which is consulting with me. I don't do that. This is proof. Think about it. There's so little trying to shove anything down your throat that he can't even find the button. So somewhere in there, I think it's the last course video, it says talk to Dany, and then there's a little thing and an asterisk, and you press the button, you pay a few bucks, you get my number. My consultations are never ending. You get my cell phone number. It's a necessary evil. It's a step in the process. Feel free. It's that easy. Or you can email me. You can respond to any of my newsletter emails, any of them, whether it's questions at Free Laundromat, Dany at freelaundromat.com. Just respond. Hey, I want to talk to Dany. Send me a link. Bada boom. My fee structure, everything I do, and now we're sounding salesy, and that ain't me. But you asked. OG Stacks, not giving us his name, losing. Try not to be an idiot. Is the best laundry equipment brand the brand that cost the least? I like the way you phraseologied that question. You know what? In my opinion, you're close. What you're going to do, sign a long-term lease, then bring the distributors to your store. If you call them all tomorrow, hello, I might maybe someday want to own a laundry, please. My name is OG Stacks. You're nobody to them. You're a fart in the wind, a monkey in the wrench. How about when you make the same call? Hi, I own a laundromat. Here's the address. Be there tomorrow to give me the best price and the longest warranty on your brand of equipment. Ciao, ciao. Changes the conversation, doesn't it? Yes. Frank, love the Spas 12 you're carrying in that awesome family photo. They're referring to my Facebook. Go say hello. I keep my Benelli on the ready next to my nightstand. Cheers, brother. Cheers. Does that mean you're a Marine? Because, Frank, here's the thing. I've got the 14-inch version. Fun. Collapsible stock, the Marine version. Hi, Dany from Arkansas. Hello, Lou. Hi. Hey. Wade wants to know, Dany, is it wrong to use your paging system to pretend to be a higher power to get homeless people out of your laundromat? Just wondering. Ooh, I like that. I don't think I can make these buttons work that way. This is the Lord. Piss off. Maybe. If you do it, make a video because I want to see it. Rob, hey, Dany. You tell us more about the attendant process. Sourcing and setting up. I own the course. Okay, so you're not sourcing or setting up. It's very simple. Rob, I mean this. I do have some videos on it. There's a thing in the course about it. Contract attendance. Why do we do it? Why do we use contract attendance? We give away the wash, dry, fold business. You want to spend every waking hour running wash, dry, fold and trying to eke out a profit? Go ahead. The hundreds of people I've consulted with. I just went to New York. We're making a long form video about it. You've seen some clips and snippets in my shorts. Not those shorts. Heartbreaking. Folks that are working 12 hours a day, 7 days a week in the business. It happens. It happens a lot. And they kid themselves. We're making $50,000 a year in coin and $50,000 in wash, dry, fold. No, you're not. You're paying yourself less than legal minimum wage. You quit tomorrow, go work at McDonald's. You'll be working less. You'll have 2 days off a week, and you'll make more fucking money. When they hear that nail in their soul, it hurts. It does. Kill shot. Trust me. Sometimes you need someone just outside the center, just outside the source to say words to you. And it's heartbreaking. So we use contract attendants. How do you find them and source them? Don't overthink it. You put, and the folks I visited in New York, they had a sign. They said, we have a sign. It's on the glass. I'm like, what? It was 8.5 by 11. It was fine print. I'm not going to read that. Help wanted and your cell phone number. That's what you need. And then it's the words that you say to explain you're about to own a small business. Should I keep talking? And Rob, it's humorous to me because it's a deep baseball question. It's something you get into later. Maybe it's a fear. Just like when people ask me very, very, very early on, do I need an LLC? It's a fear at that point. Of course you need an LLC. People of my ilk and folks that I know understand that you need an LLC for every asset and liability that you have. Why not? There's benefits to them. Lee, I just got my second job at the post office. I'm getting my first laundromat in 2025. Two separate things, Lee. Sorry about having two jobs. That sucks. Let me know now in the comments. Have I helped? What are we doing together? Let's get after it. Marcus is back. Once the attendant shift is over with at the laundromat, will the store remain unattended? Yes. Yes. Again, so what? It's a laundromat. Yes. Lino says, good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good morning. Josh says, just found you taking it all in. Well, Josh, I'm into punctuation because all we have here is the written word. So first thing I'm going to do is give you shit. Try not to be an idiot. I hope you understand. So here's Joshua Oakley, everyone. Heir to the famous sunglass fortune, wanting to get himself into the laundry business. Let's give him some advice. What should Joshua do now? Wish you guys would tell me your names on these comments. Team Williamson, I've messaged you on the newsletter. Oh, okay. On the newsletter. Well, just email me. Respond to my email. The newsletter emails do get to me, yes, but you might be inside of the threads. Send it right now. I'll see it. Dany at freelaundromat.com. Easy stuff. James trying to get my goat. Dany loves it when you use LOL. Try not to be an idiot. If you're not a 14-year-old girl, don't LOL. Don't ever LOL. Don't lol, lol, lol. Max says Snickle Fritz here. All right, now you guys are trying to get me pissed. It's not hard to do. Oh, and then Lulz, LOL. Don't LOL. It's horrible. It's become so ambiguous and it's so stupid. Hey, Dany, it's possible to restructure an LLC from a previous business and tailor the LLC to the laundromat business. Why would you? It's what, $97 to make an LLC on LegalZoom? Don't click the extra buttons. I get them done for $20 a piece. My accountant does them. Shelly sends them a couple bits of information and they're up and running. It's like mailing a letter or writing a check. Okay, maybe no one does it anymore, but it's not hard. Paulie says, my name is Paul in Toronto. First time catching a live. Purchased the course a few days ago after binging your YouTube content. That was my fault, Paul, not yours. About to press the button on consulting. Do it now, Paul. Do it during this call. Maybe we'll start your consult right now live. That scares people. Makes them very scared. Hey, I have a sort of a unique question, says Frank. I'm currently disabled and getting over leukemia. Well, God bless you, Frank. You and yours. Can only imagine, dude. I'm not possibly moving away from the current city of Houston where I am not entirely sure. I don't hear a question. You might be moving. Oh, then he continues. I'm sorry. You recommend me starting the process of contacting you. P.S. I did buy the course already and finished it. Great course. Shit ton of info. Everyone should buy it. Well, thank you, Frank. And again, dude, thinking about you. Should you start the process and reach out to me? Sure. I mean, if you're serious about doing this, and that really goes back to why put anything off, right? What I think you're asking, and I know that the YouTubeinator truncates your comments. Should you go wherever you're going, land there, live there, scout stores, for all the cheap seats? In my experience, don't wait until you have questions to ask Dany to consult with Dany. Because if we get on the phone right now, Frank, you for instance, what's the process? What's going on? Tell me how horrible this cancer shit is. And then let me help you so that when you move, maybe we can reposition a few of the things that you're doing, change some of the moving parts so you are better positioned. Does that make sense? Again, a lot of people think In their heart of heart and not mind of minds, they think, oh, I need to do this other thing before I ever reach out to Dany. No, it's non-ending. You'll have my number, we'll bullshit, we'll talk. And then 6 months from now, you text me when you've landed where you're going to end up, and we'll pick it up. William says, I try not to be an idiot. I try not to be an idiot, but my wife knows me too well. Very good, William. I need a boom button, but I got rid of that. It's too obvious. OG says, buy the course, thanks. Paul, already scouted a number of stores in my area. Is infrastructure the top priority over location and demographic density? Most of the stores I visited are clean and not nasty. Okay, question in 3 parts, right? Infrastructure is going to be there and present in every single existing laundromat. It's already there, whether they're nasty or not. Infrastructure is the gas, water, electric, all the things behind the equipment. Is it more important than demographic density, et cetera? Well, every laundromat has it, and we don't go after empty space. We don't build laundries. But infrastructure is more important because we don't build laundries. Don't overthink this, Paul. I think it's the 3rd video, the 3rd chapter in the course. It's not about location, location, location. People like to regurgitate the same shit that they heard other experts say. If there is a laundry and you don't buy it and you retool it at the proper price, you will be after what we are after, which is profit. Lee says, I just got to what you have to do. The top is where I'm going. Breaking generation, patent, and time. I think he means patience. I'm paying your course now. We'll be talking soon. I bet you that, sir. And then he says, ciao. He wrote it like he's eating something, though. Lee, I've seen you on my lives for a long time. I recognize the name. If you would ask me if this person had seen the course yesterday, I would have said yes. And now I know the truth is you've just been here spinning in circles. And there's a shit ton of information on my YouTube, but you got to kind of wade through it. We've been on here for 37 minutes thus far, and what have I taught you? Maybe something. The rubber meets the road when we speak to these landlords and you hear the reality. My voice doesn't change. I don't have that. I hear my wife on the phone with someone and I know that it's business. Her voice goes up an octave. Yeah, hello? All right, I'm jumping ahead a few because Team Williamson says he just purchased a phone consultation with me. Let's see if he's telling the truth. I give people enough rope to hang themselves or build a hammock. I'm assuming he is. I don't see anything. I don't see it. I don't know. Maybe you screwed up and you didn't click something properly. No. It should populate here in a minute. It's not there now. But who knows how the interwebs work.
Caller.
Oh, it's a spam risk. Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Tracy calling with Diamond Air. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right. How are you? Merry Christmas.
Doing all Merry Christmas, ma'am. Yes, hopefully you had a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, we did. So basically,
Well,
ma'am,
my
real quick
nephew
here,
didn't show up. He said he was going to be here, but he didn't come.
Oh no, I'm very sorry, ma'am. Well, you know what?
It's
Maybe
not
I'll
your
surprise
fault.
you on New Year's. Hopefully, like I said, you'll surprise you for New Year's, or like I said, on another upcoming time. So, the main reason for the call, ma'am, when was the last time you had the AC or heater serviced?
The what?
Your air conditioning and heating, hun? Do you know the last time
Oh,
they were
goodness.
serviced?
I live in a home. I don't do any of that. They pay the bills for me and they they bring me pudding.
Oh, okay. Well, you're all set then, ma'am. And like I said, wrong number. God bless, and Hopefully your family
What
will show
what
up. And
is your
again, I'm really
name?
sorry, Tracy.
Tracy. Can I have your personal number?
Sure, no problem, ma'am. I love to meet people and always try to help people out. Do you have a pen handy?
I do.
Okay, my number, hun, is 630.
Well, God bless you, Tracy. I'll save it in my telephone.
Oh, thank you, and God
Bye-bye.
bless you.
Well, always want to get those those calls. The coughing was real, by the way. I like to get the salespeople, but sometimes you try to wind somebody up and they just go with it, and then it just hurts your feelings, right? That gal's just doing her job. I wish I needed my AC fixed, but I don't. Sorry about the coughing. I got to remember to press the mute button so that you guys don't have to listen to that. Anybody get sick for the holidays? I always do. All right, back to what the hell we were doing. Oh, we were checking the email. Bro, I'm looking at the thing and I don't see any payment. So I was excited. Not about a few bucks coming my way, but I wanted to jump on with you here. I don't think it worked. I don't think it went through. So see what you did wrong. And I'll email you back my cell phone number like I do with people right away. Paul, already scouted a number of stores in my area. We already answered that question. Lee is being silly. Were you going to landlord calls on New Year's? Are we doing landlord calls? No one's going to answer the phone on New Year's Eve, bro. I know you're excited. Where can you find hidden infrastructure, other business types that may have similar infrastructure, there's too much empty space? We don't do that. So you do not want to go find a dog training facility that's going to perfectly flip over to a laundromat. It's not a real thing. That doesn't exist. The environmental impact fees alone will crush you, and that's part of the infrastructure payments that have already been made. So you've got 54 washing machines sunk into the ground in LA County. It's like $7,000 per each, already paid decades ago. So I want to call that a very good question, but there's no other type of business that we're going to try to flip to a laundry. Don't make the mistake of trying to build a laundry. That's probably worse than buying one. Kay says, it's Kelvin from Henderson. Kelvin, we don't need all that info, dude. I don't want, giving your zip code here. I have another question concerning the LLC. Is it possible to eliminate the LLC, the one that I already have, because it's not using it? Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. Guys, you can ask these questions, and no offense, of any accountant or any LLC stream. Get rid of it. If you're not using it, flip it to something else. All the government cares about is that you've got a limited liability company. What you use it for is up to you. And again, Team Williamson says they bought a consultation with me, and I'm just not seeing it. So if it was here, well, let me look at a thing, because my email just got moved around and changed some things. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, I got a $375,000 business approval. That's great. That's junk mail. Now, I might be wrong. I moved some things around in my email. If that's the case, I apologize. Yeah, makes for boring television. Oh, wait, here we go. No. I looked in another spot. What you might have done, I'm not calling you a liar or a bullshit artist, but what you might have done is clicked a bunch of stuff and not clicked something right. I do that all the time. So Maybe that's the case. Maybe. Try again. Hey, Dane, bought the amazing course. I know you said coin laundromat is best, but what if you're managing more than one in different areas? My name is Kenny. Kenny, until you get to a certain number of stores, cash is continually king. You're thinking about the way that you would like to go into a laundromat and use a little slippy card, but you are not a laundry customer. Now you're spending $8,000 to $12,000 for each kiosk, $300 to more hundreds of dollars for every single washer. You got a $90,000 investment in order to have the card. Now the cards themselves have RF chips in them. They cost $1 plus each. Every couple of years, you're going to be spending 10 grand ongoing. People lose the cards. People throw the cards away. Don't do it. Bought the course. Thank you, buddy. Follow up. Since there is so much empty space, can you negotiate a long-term lease where they build the infrastructure, leasehold improvements? Sure. Yeah. Do you really think for an instant that the landlord is going to spend the tenant improvement money and not get it back? Of course not. Landlords will spend money on HVAC units because they have to. They're going to need to put HVAC units on there if it's a laundromat or an optometrist. Follow me. The flooring, the hung ceiling, the glass on the front of the store, the four walls, everything they're responsible for, they must spend on ongoing, no matter what. When it comes to F&E, furnishings and equipment, or something that's specific to your bouncy house business or laundromat, no. They're not going to build jewelry cases because you're a jeweler. No. They're not going to do that. They'll bullshit you, and some will believe, and even folks on the internet will say,
They're willing to spend the money.
they're going to get it back in the form of future rent, bro. Why would you do that when there are so many decrepit laundromats ready for takeover? Don't. Ken says, funniest shit I heard today. Thanks. I'm not even sure what I said, Ken, but you're welcome. You're welcome. There's that word again. All right, well, Team Williams says he got an email confirming that he paid me money. I don't know. I'm looking at my stupid email here. Now it's getting silly. And again, Shelly had to go into my email and change a couple of things around. But it goes into a folder and it tells me that somebody jumped in and paid. And it's not here. The UPS guy's ringing the bell, I think. I'm positive that you paid. It's just the fact that I can't see the stupid thing. Hold on a second. Yep, it's UPS. I know the sound of his truck leaving. Going into activities. Going into the course videos. These people probably aren't sending me updated emails. Nope. There's nothing in here. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying that I'm not getting any notifications about any of it. And we will sort that. Obviously, I just thought it would be fun to jump on here and do a thing. Apologies to everyone. And like I said, we edit these things later because sometimes it gets a little... yeah. Blockchain. Hey, Dany, Josh here. What do you think about Peter Mayberry saying that the laundromat business is oversaturated and a bad business to get into? Watched a video he made about a year ago. I would say this to Peter's face. Peter does a lot of things for clicks. And it's weird because if you're in a business and you love the business and you're literally building 3 or 4 or 5 stores in your area, a year, why would you even want to go on YouTube and get people interested and intrigued in the business? I've got people all over the world doing this. So I can't speak to that. Tell you what, if he's on here, Peter, you can send me a text and we'll ask you personally. What do I think about it? I know Peter. Peter is a friend, and I don't really think about it at all. But I know it's not true. If you yourself understand what you're looking at, Josh, and you go out and look at laundromats, what do you see? Saturation? No. Wade says, I had my internet down for 3 full days, Kenny. If I had a card-only system, I would have made $0 for 3 days. I have one customer who would like a card store for every 25 who prefers a cash store. There you go. Not enough moments in the day to explain. And I don't want to be a dick. There's that word again. I just want to say, here's the reasons that we do the things the way that we do and how my experience taught me to do those things. And Wade is giving you even more examples. Every 8-year-old child has dirty clothes and quarters in his or her pocket. They're a potential client. Now take that same 8-year-old and say, well, you got to go get a bank account, turn 18, get yourself a debit card, and then you can become a consumer. You follow? And Ken says it makes sense. Well, thanks. I'm glad you and Wade were able to get together on this in the stream. Paul says, if you came across a free store, you don't come across free stores, Paul. You scout disgusting, filthy, grotesque laundromats and call landlords, or have me do it. But I digress. If you came across a free store that had card-based system, would you continue with that, convert to coin or walk? Of course you go through with it. You're not the dummy that spent the money on the card. No problem. Since you're harping on it, let me just say this. Used to have only coin, right? Technology says, let's do card. They only built card stores, so you had to pick either or. Now what do? Both. Very, very telling. Will they ever get rid of the card? No, they're making 90,000, 300 grand on the system. System breaks, they come out and fix it. Come on. Kenneth like the old lady.
Hello?
Okay, Lou, appreciate the information. Oh, God. Do you see I purchased the card? Dude, what is your name, Team Williamson? I don't want your first and last and zip code. Just what's your first name? You're now asking me and all the other people on here to stop what we're doing and go figure out if we can find you and see what you did. Again, if you made the purchase for a consult, my fault, something in my system is not giving me the notifications. That's all I am saying, for certain or otherwise. Here, I will text my wife. Not a large company. Any consultation it's auto talk to texting now, so you can fix that shit. Any consult today? Question mark. Proper punctuation. All right. Again, not calling you a liar, not saying you're bullshitting. If your card says that you spent on the thing, somewhere in my system, something might have been changed, and I'll get on top of it. There's probably 5 of you in there. Oy vey. All right, we're going to do the real work that we came here to see. December 13th. All right, let's play the game. Just for the hell of it, because we're all interested in your story. December 13th. What day was that? Somebody tell me what day December 13th was. This just makes for terrible television, and here we are doing it anyway. What day was it? Don't make me do the math. Well, there it is. Team Williamson. You know what? Excuse me, Anthony. You didn't buy it on the 13th. Bought it on the 12th at 5 p.m. So there's a lot of shit going sideways with kind of the way that you think because you don't even have the day right. Are you in California, Anthony? All right, I'm done with all this. Shelly says there was a purchase while we were on the live. See, I'm telling you. So, like I said, my fault. And we're going to get to you in a minute, so chillax. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Please, someone, please. If you're going to take me, Lord, just do it now. Try not to be an idiot. She says it might be someone that bought something else. All right. I promised you that I'd be done with it. And I got a frog in my throat because I'm dying. Thank you, Kenneth. Friday. Michael, if he purchased your console, you should have your number. No, I give people my number through an email. It's not that I'm old school. It's that that's kind of a big deal. And I don't want certain things automated. So when you, let's say that you purchase a consultation with me that's never ending, you're going to get my cell phone, and it's a Sunday afternoon. I don't want an automatic email to go out and say, here's Dany's number, call him up. I might be half in the bag, or maybe I'm on a ladder, I'm on my property shooting a machine gun. So I like to send those emails. And those of you that are on here that have consulted with me know that when you do that, I almost immediately give you my number. But here we go with this whole drama over this thing. Ken says, it's Friday. Do you think it's important to learn about the infrastructure of a laundromat for troubleshooting when needed? Makes sense. No, it doesn't. The infrastructure is barely a concern, other than the opposite side, which is drainage. And that, every quarter, we have the pooper guy come out and clean it out. That's what the other folks do not do. Okay, so I was right. Anthony, just want to make sure you're getting notice that I paid your program. Not a doubt we will speak soon. Oh, shit. So you didn't buy the consultation. Wow. All of the things that I just did to try to find that, you didn't do it. Huh. I guess I'm an idiot. Let's go back and look at his comment. Just purchase the phone call, but you didn't, right? And then he apologized. I don't have a button for you. I don't. Yeah, dude. This is unfolding in real time. You did not buy a phone consultation with me, correct? No wonder I didn't see a notification. What does it take?
Hi, Dany.
Tell me a story.
I scouted a laundromat and I saw people living inside of it.
Oh my God. That's heartbreaking.
A blow-up mattress and everything.
So did they have small apartments like Ewoks inside of the tumblers? They were just in there, just spinning around, getting high. That's
I
it.
don't know. They had
That's
a
it.
lot of strange food and a hot plate.
Wow. Now, do you
And
think?
people were still using the laundromat, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Do you think
They don't
this was?
care.
These were not the operators. These were like their attendants that were in there just living it up.
I have no idea.
Were they helping
Couldn't tell you.
customers or had an apron on or were just living there?
No, they were just living there. Just living there. Have you ever heard that from any of your other
Oh yeah,
clients?
yeah, of course,
Oh, you have.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's I mean, that's either a hobo. That's my favorite word for when you're wondering what to call them.
It looked like a family. Mm-hmm.
Whole
Hobo. Yeah.
family of hobos. All right, riding the rails, right? Or it's, I mean, the operator has to know how bad on a scale of 1 to horrific was the rest of the laundromat.
It was bad.
It's hard to
I
notice
mean,
the other shit. You're looking at people living in the store. It's kind of like, oh, gee, there's an out of order sign. There's a human tragedy happening. My God.
there was medication out on the counters. Yeah, it wasn't good. So as soon as I can find that property owner's information,
Yeah, why not?
we'll make it happen.
Exciting. All right, give us the
Mhm.
recap. What's going on? What did we do? And where are we at? We got
What did
45
we do?
minutes before end of day.
Oh boy. Okay, let's make it quick. Scouted a laundromat. Called the realtor in September. He said they had a lease out. They were waiting for the guy to get approved for equipment before they would allow him to move forward with the lease. Called him back in October. He didn't answer. We left a voicemail, and then we called him again on December 3rd, and he answered and said it was available. So we went back and forth, and you did your negotiation. We sent an LOI, $20 a square foot, 8 months of abatement. He came back literally within hours with his own red lines, just changing it to keeping the rate the same, $20 a square foot plus triple nets, and then he changed the abatement to 3 months at no cost and then 5 months at half rent. So then we got back on the telephone
That was
on
the
the
last,
11th.
we're up to the last call. Yep.
Back, he initially in the first phone call on the 3rd, he said that the landlord doesn't care about the space. He can keep it vacant. He's not worried about it. And then when we spoke again on the 11th, it was like, well, we can keep it the same rent that you're asking, but we need to start January 1st.
Right. And there's little things that simply don't make sense. I don't care. We'll write it off. We'll sit on this thing in our hands for the next 10 years. Won't make a damn bit of difference. But that's just blustering. That's just pounding his chest, rattling his saber, and other uh, word salads that I can't think of. If you're going to say a thing, then stick to the guns. There's another mixed
Right.
metaphor. And instead, well, we want to sign a lease on the 1st, which is in a couple of days. So here we are.
Yes, we got the lease from him we got it on Christmas Eve towards the end of day. So
Yeah. And the fun part, we're up to speed just about. The other fun thing is that he wrote back and he said, because of the timing, which is start January 1, I had to rush this lease and get it to your hands and simultaneously to the landlord as well. I did work all afternoon and this morning to finish this, so you have enough time to review. What a guy. Landlord will be reviewing it as well, but I don't anticipate much comments from their side. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. We can get this signed before the new year. Now, this is something you have probably been very carefully fine-tooth combing because you know how I do. You've heard me say it. I'm not a realtor. I don't have any initials after my name. I'm a negotiator. And like many good negotiators, I focus solely on playing the man, not the cards. And in this case, you're the one that's going to look at the lease. So first, because you will use that fine-tooth comb and things will, even although you have never signed a commercial lease, or if you have, it's not for a laundromat, you will say, well, gee whiz, this doesn't look right, and maybe I need a lawyer to look at this part. How many pages is the lease that they sent over?
the lease, the lease itself is 18 pages,
Oh,
and then there
damn.
is Then there is an addendum to the lease that is 10 pages.
Is that about your abatement?
The addendum?
Yeah.
The addendum goes over rental increases, CAM charges, vehicle parking, options. Let's see, condition of the premises. I'm going through all the bullet points. Insurance, signage, brokers, notices, entry by lessor. I don't know why these aren't part of the regular lease, but
Yeah,
venue and choice of law, drug activity, blah, blah, blah.
a lot of that sounds like it should be standard lease fare, which makes it 28 pages. Let's be
20
realistic.
pages.
And we're both,
Correct.
it's 10 and 10? I thought you said 18 and 10.
Yeah, 18 and 10, 28 pages.
Yeah, I did my maths.
I appreciate that.
So you got, and we're both laughing because we both know that you've heard me say famously, you get a 5-page lease, sign that sucker. You get a 25-page lease, read it. You got a 55-page lease, no, you're starting to get into weird territory. More is never better for the tenant. More is better for the landlord. They're just, it's very telling. How large should a laundromat lease be? Well, again, it could be anywhere from a cocktail napkin and a handshake to, I've seen 74 pages. And in this case, I think the addendum is really part of the lease that they've just sort of maybe they use it for different centers.
Yeah, I mean,
And look, I'm not going to look through or read the whole thing. Which part
no.
needs to be, now that we are going to call him up and rattle his cage, what am I talking to him about?
Okay. Well, I have a couple of questions, not for him, but for
Good.
you.
Yes. Shoot.
In the lease, there's some mention of that service contracts for the HVAC and boilers is required. I was curious if that was something standard that you've come across.
Service
I need to
contracts
show
from you,
contracts.
so you
Yeah.
can, right. We have a few steps still to go. Number one, we're going to say this needs to change, that needs to change. Number two, when you actually show up to sign the lease, you can redline things and say, by the way, this doesn't seem to be standard. It doesn't make any sense to me. You don't have to have a team of attorneys in blue suits sitting with you, but you yourself can say, not ready to sign this until this is scratched, and they normally will. Service contract in place for the air conditioning. The only thing a landlord is always responsible for, unless otherwise written, is the roof and the 3 walls, the fourth wall being the glass. You've heard me talk about that. I talk about kids and skateboards, and people don't get that. They're like, wait a minute, now you can ask for it to be delivered in perfect, pristine condition with no broken glass. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Some people aren't that smart. And so day one, you're out there finding a glass guy. No, thank you. That being said, the roof, always the response. You're not going to have tar coming up out of the parking lot either. The landlord's responsible for the common areas, et cetera, et cetera. That's why I ask you. So if it says that they want you to have an HVAC contract, that means they want you to be responsible for fixing it if it breaks and not them, right?
Right. Yeah. It says within 72 hours of signing the lease. You need to show proof of.
Now we're going to go back to our letter of intent. His red lines. Did you already do this? What did he redline? What did he say about the LOI? Because we asked for HVAC to be warranted or built in, right? That's in our LOI.
Yes. That's in our LOI. He put air conditioning units shall be delivered in working condition, all ductwork and common electric to be warranted within 30 days of commencement date, but there's no mention that they will warranty anything in the laundromat. It basically says as is, where is condition in the lease.
Yeah, that's their standard addendum. And so this is not a hill we need to die on, because if they deliver the air conditioning in working condition and you have a certificate of such, then we're okay come this summer and next. If I were you, I would just redline that, and I wouldn't bring it up in this call. That'll be a red line for lease signing, yes. Because I think it's just standard boilerplate shit that they left in there.
Okay. And then for you, I also was curious, there's mention that I'm required to get plate glass insurance. And I was curious if that just is common, and if that's something I can add to to my liability policy, if you've ever
Yeah,
heard of
yeah.
that.
And what did we just say? Here's why. The
Yeah.
landlord doesn't want you duct taping the glass or replacing it with fucking plywood and never removing it. So they're
Yeah.
basically saying that, again, look, this
Get it
isn't
fixed.
Neiman Marcus, right? We're not next door to the Viking Center for ovens. This is a laundromat and all of the things that come with it. These landlords are so used to laundromat operators who bought their store, who paid too much for the equipment, who are essentially failing, that they put this silly shit in their lease. Now,
Mhm.
he says that he wants you to have it. He's basically saying he wants to make sure that you fix it. So I wouldn't even mess with that.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to ask you. Okay, so for the security deposit, he's asking for
Is this
3 months
are
rent.
we done with all the smaller questions?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
because the security deposit
Yeah.
is now look, if you signed this thing and you had to pay what he's asking for, would you be okay with it?
I don't want to tie up $21,000
It's
of my money.
$21,000. Yeah, fuck that. Good, good.
3 months plus the first month's rent. So that's an issue. And then the abatement only is in the lease, it only states that the base rent is abated. I have to start paying the CAM charges, which is like 1,250 starting month
That's
one.
standard. There's nothing you can do about that. But we
Okay.
asked for the cams to be abated as well. So now we're back to what we thought we already completed, which is negotiation. And that's
Mm-hmm.
good because if he says no to X, then we say yes to Y, then we're meeting at Z. So we can always say, well, dude, if you're asking us to pay cams and we asked for 8 months of abatement in total. So I get
Mm-hmm.
it. Now you need to put all this shit in bullet points for me. Did you do that in the document already?
I surely did. It's in
Oh my
blue.
God, you're such a nurse in blue.
This might be a deal breaker because
Good.
in the lease now he's saying there's 2 swamp coolers, which that wasn't described in his redlined LOI.
Okay. Now we need to go
He didn't
through
say
this.
there was
Sure. Space is swamp cooler, 2 swamp coolers is not warranted by landlord. Whoa. It says that in the lease?
in the lease, everything is as is, whereas there's no warranties provided. But
They don't
in the
want to spend any
LOI,
money.
I understand that. Yeah.
No, I'm just reiterating. Don't forget, I know that you're kind enough to go along with this process with me on YouTube Lives, and you're one of 2 or 3 people that I'm doing that with. But in the interim, I'm doing 3 or 4 of these calls a day with other folks that are in flux that are doing this. And so that's why I never pretend I remember this stuff. I'd be a real dick if I was in here going, "Oh, gee, let me look at Rebecca's situation and then get on the phone with her and pretend like I remember all of this." I
I don't.
don't.
I don't
And
expect that.
frankly, it's not that I don't have room in my brain. It's just there's no need for it. You're always the one that's going to elevate this in your mind and in reality and tell me, so, bro, after all this back and forth shit, he wants 21 grand. He wants you to show up with $21,000. I've had as much as close to 100,000, so that's not bad. But you're right. No,
Mm.
you shouldn't pay it. Absolutely not. And I did tell you, he did say in his LOI response that he wants 3 months. And I said, you know what? You asked me, should we just tell him to draft a lease? Yes,
Yeah.
because as you've
Yeah.
seen, the realtor himself has taken the time and energy and effort, and he wants us to know I worked like Bob Cratchit all Christmas Eve putting this lease together. Please, dude, you moved some shit around. You made a lease out of
Yeah.
boilerplates. But now we're
Mm-hmm.
finding out that it's swamp cooled. That is a deal
Yeah.
breaker. This
Yeah.
landlord doesn't have any money. And when I
Mm-hmm.
say that, it doesn't mean he's not a billionaire. I'm sure he's not, but it means maybe millionaire, but it means he doesn't want to spend any money. So
Mm-hmm.
we're going from a small thing, which is 21 grand, to swamp coolers. What would you say to Alex right now? Are you fucking
I
crazy?
have no idea.
That's
Yeah.
what you say. It's 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Those words are not in quotes. Are you telling me that in quotes in the lease it says space is swamp cooled with 2 swamp coolers and is not warranted by landlord? No,
The
you're writing
part,
that.
yeah, I'm writing that, but he wrote, let me go to the lease. Let me see where it is.
See, you know what they want? They want someone like you to be so interested and intrigued and excited about owning a small business that you just say, well, this will all work itself out. And then in Los Angeles, in the middle of goddamn August, it's going to be 115 degrees in this place, and there's going to be no customers. And you wonder why.
Mm-hmm. It says the premises is not equipped with HVAC system, only 2 swamp coolers, which lessor shall deliver in working condition before
No.
lessee open for business.
No. All right. So that's what we need to talk to him about. That's all. That's it.
Okay.
And I like your style because we started this call with you saying, hey, I found a store with homeless people living in it, a bunch of hobos riding the rails, and we'll probably be calling them. Listen, if I would have walked this place, I would have instantly seen from the photo or from my eyeballs that it doesn't have air conditioning, right? It's
It doesn't
different.
look like that. Like the other ones that I've seen that are swamp cooled, I didn't see that in this particular space. I mean, it's closed and there's bars, so it's hard, but I'm looking at the pictures in the ceiling and I don't see the little pop outs that I normally see with the swamp coolers. So I don't know.
Watch this. I'm doing 3 things at once. I'm trying to get my editing team to change your thumbnail. Because why not? There's enough shit going on in this live. Make it on the live read 21,000 deposit. Let's see if it's, and you know, instead of people wondering what I'm doing while I'm typing, that's what I'm doing. Let's see if they can get it changed while we're still on this. But I think that the bigger deal eventually will be the fact that they want you to move in with swamp coolers. And you know what my goal is to just get him to say, yeah, that's ridiculous. If he understands it, he can convey that to the landlord. And I'm not going to sit here and talk with you about it because it's academic. You understand. You know,
Yep.
in your field, a surgeon might come in and take a liking to you and say, well, let me explain how to throw a hitch into a heart or whatever it is that he's doing it. But instead he's like, just watch what I do. And then you can do it next time. What is it you say? Learn it, do it, teach it, right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's call his fruity ass up. So now everything's gone from trying to get you out of a 10,000, which is now a 21,000. Now, why did it all change? Why did it all go up? Because you don't have assets, even though you have an 850 FICO score?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know I should shut up and let you actually talk, but it's not my thing.
That's good. That's okay.
Yeah, thanks. Cell phone, here we go. And you know he's hot after this, he's going to answer.
I bet he is.
Yeah. Stand by. Now's where you subscribe, you louts. Hit the sub button. Tell your friends.
Hey, Dany.
I hear children.
Yes.
I hear holidays.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Merry New Year.
Thank you. Same to you.
I'm good. I'm always good.
Hang on.
I want to talk to you, man to businessman. I want to tell you that, bro, we had no idea this place is swamp cooled. Come on. It's 2025. It doesn't have air conditioning.
It doesn't have them.
So
It doesn't have them.
would you send your wife or your kids to a dentist that didn't have air conditioning. Come on, we're not in a third world country. I
It
know.
has the swamp coolers.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
what they have.
And
It's going to be the.
I know, but
I mean, you think
no.
that's going to.
No. We're not.
No?
We're not going to spend $450,000, $500,000, $600,000 on equipment in a swamp cooled space. I didn't know. Normally, I can see the returns.
I didn't know either.
Yeah,
They
of
told
course
me
not.
last minute.
Of course not.
They said doesn't have one.
You're
Okay, I'll
on.
tell
You're
him.
not on the other
Okay.
side of this. We are both in the center of this. You're doing work to try to get this done before the new year. We're over here trying to get it
Yeah,
done.
no.
And then, I mean, this is not an argument. It's not even a negotiation. Here's the thing.
Any other? Anything else?
Well, there's no need to get to anything else. They don't.
Oh,
They people treat laundromat customers like shit, and they say, "Oh well, it's a why did I say optometrist or the
Honestly,
dentist?"
I have so many laundromats. They don't turn on their AC.
Right.
They never turn it on
Right.
because of the electricity. Because
Right.
of the
20
cost.
years
It just
ago,
doesn't-
when they built these AC units, the tonnage was different. The expense to run them was different. Now it's just, and again, I'm being very, very serious. You know where I'm going with this. I know you wouldn't send your wife or your kids to a dentist without air conditioning, much less a laundromat. I know you wouldn't go to a Chinese restaurant that didn't have, maybe it's nice, it's LA, it's the middle. Right now they can open a door, not turn the heater on, they get away with it. But I'm talking about mid-July. You know what a laundromat does? All of the tumblers, the dryers create heat and
I
tons of
understand.
it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
We
I'll tell him. Yeah, it doesn't have it.
there's the switch
You
that
know,
he's got to pull some money from somewhere, and he's got to air condition this place. That's why our LOI says that.
air conditioning.
Yeah.
It should have.
All right, go find
me
out
that
and
there
send
is
me
no
a
air.
text. Let me know what
Okay,
he's going
all
to
right.
do.
All right,
Wait. If he doesn't do it for us, and he says, "Gee whiz, the next laundromat won't ask for it." A, he's wrong. B, if he says he's going to vanilla the space, he's going to pay for HVAC anyway. That's your
Honestly,
argument.
we had an LOI 2 weeks ago. We should have taken it.
But if you did, you'd be stuck with an idiot who's going to try to swamp cool a laundromat in 2025.
No, he accepted it. He said the
Ugh.
swamp cooler being in working condition, and so okay.
Do you want a foolish tenant? Be serious.
No. And then it was a different scenario, but he's gone.
Yeah, go call him. You can't say you should have accepted this, that, the other. What you want are good,
we
strong tenants that are
Oh,
going to bring
yeah.
more folks to the center. All right, let me
I mean,
know.
your guy is not really strong either. I don't think she has her first time. She's not even in this business.
And
just
she
putting
has
some money there.
Me. She didn't go out and build one or buy one, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm at her side for the next 25 years. That's the difference.
Okay, my man.
All right, let me know.
Let me talk to him. All right,
All
I
right.
got you. Thank you.
Hold on. One of my favorite things, and I'm not sure, maybe someone on this call does know, I'm not sure, there's got to be a psychological term for when someone acts, it's like good cop, bad cop. I am solely 100% on your side. And then you talk to another person and they say, "Oh, well, they're not really that good at this. They don't really know what they're doing. They don't really, we should have gone with the other guy." What do you expect me to say? To go into, is that him psychologically trying to get me on his side of the team? Like, nah, She's very strong. You are far, far stronger and better off than 99.997% of the idiots well, all of them, everyone that goes out and buys a laundry. You know that. You know that. And the scenario with the last guy, he's trying to play me by saying, "Oh, we should have gone with the other people." He knows goddamn well he can call the other people and get them back. He knows that. He told us what? He's talking out of both sides of his face a lot. He said they weren't capable, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's saying he should have gone with them.
All the other people that have shown interest in this space, he said, didn't have any financials, didn't have any money to redo any of this. So
And that's fine.
maybe
It doesn't take money to do this. I know that because when you do your 11th, 12th, 27th store, you won't spend money because you already know. You're like, oh shit, this is easy. I won't buy a car without 0% interest ever. Why would I? Why would I need a loan? Don't need a loan. Want a loan. Because instead of buying a $110,000 pickup truck and handing them my money, let them float it at zero because it's a smart way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You heard him say, is there anything else? I just schmoozed right over that shit, right? Is there anything? Yeah, the fucking 21 grand. But you understand why we do it that way.
Yep.
Let him understand that he's got to spend the money on the air conditioning units. This isn't going to get signed at the first of the year unless, right? So he comes back and says, all right, well, we need an addendum and we need to see it all writ out that you're going to have proper tonnage, which is going to be more. And this whole shit, I despise the way that these people, all of them, act as though laundromat customers are dog shit. That's what it goes by. I'll let some homeless people live in my laundromat. That's not, they're just laundromat customers. So many directions we can go with this shit. All right, well, here we are. He sends me a text and says we're good to go with the AC. And this is the psychology of negotiating. If and when he does that, that's when we say, good, put it in writing. Okay, we're good. Now scratch the 21K. All of these daggers or this death by 1,000 cuts, where it's just a little nick and a drip of blood, but eventually you're going to lose 7 quarts. And that's what we're doing here. We're never going to say, imagine day one, we call the landlord and say, all right, damn it, I want you to spend $50,000 on air conditioning. I'm not going to give you any first and last month rent neither. I don't know why I'm country there, but it don't work. I'm glad you're still laughing. All right, don't lose any sleep. Any other anecdotes?
Not that I can think of.
All right. Keep your chin up. I'll let you know when he texts me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. So we understand how and why Dany handled it the way that he did, I hope. We've got the one odd dangling participle. And so you know, I'm trying to see where you paid the money so we can get on the phone so we could do a thing, but I don't see it. And I will. It'll get figured out. Wade. Maybe the people living in the laundromat were the security. That's hilarious. Oy vey. Anthony, we will get back to you. Absolutely. I'm going to figure it out and send me an email with the thing. Sean says, hey, Dana, this is Sean. Been listening to recordings for a little while now. Buying the silly course tonight and getting started ready for a change. I'm excited for you, Sean, and I'd like to talk to everyone here about that change. And the fact that you said the words that you're ready. That's the operative word. You have to be ready. Sean, you're ready. And now that you are, all I'm going to do is facilitate that readiness. I'm not going to hold your hand. I am going to lead you down the primrose path. Make you understand how to do this properly. The most you are going to learn, if you've seen the course, we're going to end this here pretty quick. If you've seen it, I want you to tell me in the top chat right now, you've seen the course, what is the one thing that you learned that you had no knowledge of? Let me know. Think about it. I know Wade's going to answer. What is the one thing that I taught you in a silly course that you had no knowledge of? Because isn't that why we read a self-help book? Isn't that why we read and study the Bible? Damn. I didn't know that. And now I do. Whether or not I move forward, whether or not our friend is ready is up to him. Once that readiness is in your mind, like Sean, I'm just a facilitator. I can't walk for you. I show you where to put one foot in front of the other. And it is that simple. We talked about the truck driver. We talked about white line fever. If you're jumping on now and you're seeing this late to the game, gee whiz, I missed the start. Watch the whole thing. Do yourself a favor. Watch my live videos. They usually end up an hour and a half, 2 hours. There's a lot of shit going on. I like to communicate with you guys, and that takes a minute. Come on, let's see it. If you have seen the course, jump in here in the chat and let me know something that I taught you that you had no knowledge of. And we're getting those now. Ken says abatement. Everybody's plagiarizing, but it's a really, really fucking important thing. Because several of you are saying it. 2 Kens and a Ken. Kevin. Rent abatement, contract workers. Not going to explain it. No knowledge of this thing that is so very important if you're going to own a small business in rented space and people don't have a clue. People don't even know to ask for this thing that's going to break or make their business, their money, their future. You want to know what it feels to say to someone, money is no object? Ooh, and then you look at them, look at your shoes. Joe Palmieri, hey Paisan, Merry Christmas. I never knew about rent abatement and or TI. Huge. Charles, rent abatement. Different understanding of running a business. That's big. Thank you, Charles. Frank says, I learned that the washers and dryers are much easier to repair compared to residential units. There you go. True story. For obvious reasons. Plug and play. Paul's giving us a big philosophical answer. Paul learned from my course something he had no knowledge of, which is that there's more preferred method to get into the business rather than the common buy a store and seller financing. I would have lost my shirt. There are plenty of pieces out there that are talking to you about seller financing. I want to sell you my laundromat business for only a meager $100,000. Give me $25,000 down. Assume my lease. Owe me the 75 grand at a mere 9%. I take the 25, I put it in my pocket. I'm subleasing to you. 3 months later, you realize that you can't even pay the rent. Why did I sell it? Because I couldn't pay the rent. I didn't know how to make money. I might have even retooled the place and there's $400,000 owed on that equipment. I'm going to repossess, sell it to the next sucker. Maybe the next guy's got $100,000 free and clear. Be careful if you're in Allentown, because Hector's been out there scouting for the past 3 hours. Non-stop kill shot. Be careful, Hector. Kevin says contracted workers still not clear. Kevin, what part of... It's not clear to you because you can't wrap your mind around how it would possibly work because you have a worker mentality, no offense. You only understand what it's like to work by the hour and get paid that way. Now pretend that you're a serial entrepreneur that is willing to put in hundreds of hours into a business front-loaded so you can eventually profit. Those are the people we stick in the laundry. And I mean this, Kevin. If you want it explained in excruciating detail the way that only I can, go back and look at the videos I've made about it already. Or smash the button and let's get on the phone. Try not to be an idiot. I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm going to try not to be. Jack in the shop, TI or abatement. I'm loving this because people are going, what in the fuck are those things? He says, I watch all the lives. I don't always that because I'm in the shop. Okay. Let's go, Dany. Love the course. Don't need the refund. Whoa. So here's a person that obviously, when you get and open your store, have I talked to you? I need to get you on the stupid YouTube-inator. We need to make a video. And I don't need the money, so you don't need the refund. Thank you. You're just trying to get me wound up because people give me this little, hey, I got a free laundromat and it's making me $17,000 a month. I don't need the refund. The refund is a way for me to get your information. It's very tricky. No, email me. Where are you? What'd you do? Sounds good. I just emailed you, he says. Back to this. Cake thick. Joe, I learned manufacturers will finance equipment. 0%. Absolutely. Just did one of those a couple days ago. Just did a video about it a couple weeks ago. Live. Wade says, let me sell you my 25-year-old equipment with interest, and you need to go get new equipment anyway. Why would you do this? Thank you, sir. Kevin loves it. I'm not sure what he loves. Rent abatement is something I taught Jose that he knew nothing about. Paul says, what's a swamp cooler? Look it up. It's a really, really shitty, almost AC. It has a fan. It blows the outdoor air into the space. And then on 3 sides, it has pads where it drips water. So it's basically humidifying the air, not cooling it, just giving you the feeling. Now you're sweating your dick off and you're adding extra sweat from the swamp cooler. It's not pretty. But the fact that any landlord in today's 2025 universe would think that it's a good idea to do that, it's just sad. I didn't need to get that realtor to say yes to anything. I just needed him to understand that this is silly. It's how you negotiate. You don't ask for what you want. You bring them to your side of the fence. Bro, the landlord wants to stick another operator in here who's going to spend money on new equipment and swamp cool it? Come on. Gray's giving Kevin some help saying, watch the video titled She Will Work in Your Laundromat for Free. That video should be in the course. Also explains it so well. Oh, it should be in the course. Sometimes I take the good stuff and I remove it from the YouTubes and I put it in the course. Financing old equipment with interest is wild. Yeah, no. Kevin, we'll do a rewatch of this. Good. All right, kids. I'm going to end this, and when I do, I want every single one of you to tell me about a conversation that happened at Christmas dinner. All of you, 57 of you, watch them jump down to 42. Don't be a wuss. Wade, thankfully we don't have swamp coolers in Canada that I've ever... Yeah, because you'd all turn to icicles. Canada's about to be America's 51st state anyway. We all know it's true. Go make comments. I appreciate each and every one of you. We do not have a deal on this lease yet. And if you don't understand why, good day, sir. If you don't understand why, go back and watch it. Give me a comment, kids, all of you. I'm not going to tell you what to comment. I've just given you a little hint.